The Los Angeles Lakers' 7-game winning streak didn't just end today, it got demolished.
JJ Redick is clearly saying, Bron, trying to get LeBron's attention here. You can hear him on the audio yelling it, and LeBron, when the camera moves over, is chatting with the Suns bench during the play. So Redick, he calls a timeout and is seen shaking his head a little after.
It's like the Monstars taking over the people that you've grown to coach, and they're not doing anything that they normally do.
Yeah, that was my fault. No way I can have 9 turnovers in the game. So in that second quarter, instead of just giving me the shots instead of shooting the ball, I feel like I was trying to get involved, but there's no way I should have 9 turnovers.
What we witnessed in Lakers wasn't just a loss. It was a statement game from the Phoenix Suns, who came into arena without Devin Booker for 3 quarters and still managed to hand the Lakers a humiliating beatdown. The final score doesn't even tell the whole story. The fast break points were 28-2. The Lakers turned the ball over 22 times, leading to 32 Suns points. And here's the kicker that should terrify every Lakers fan. LeBron James finished with 0 rebounds, 0 blocks, and 0 steals for the first time in his entire career. 0 rebounds, 0 blocks, 0 steals.
Think about it. You get it. You understand. Yeah, you understand. Just wake up with you've had a night before, you know.
That's not just a bad night. That's an existential crisis for a player who's built his entire legacy on being able to impact the game in every possible way. And the most haunting part? LeBron knows it. When asked about being on the injury report for left foot injury management, his response cut through all the noise with brutal honesty.
For Mark Williams here, this is just not a typical LeBron James play. So, it was the second game in 3 nights for him.
But let's back up and talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the villain in the building. Dillon Brooks came to Los Angeles with one mission: to bury the Lakers and talk his talk while doing it. And brother, did he ever deliver? 33 points on 15 of 26 shooting, including 2 of 7 from 3. He was a plus 22. He was aggressive. He was confident. He was everything the Lakers weren't on this night. Brooks has had beef with LeBron dating back to his Memphis days, and he made sure everyone in that arena knew he wasn't backing down. Not even a little bit. When asked about his relationship with James after the game, Brooks didn't sugarcoat it.
He likes people that know to bow down. I don't bow down, so that either entices him or it aggravates him, either or.
That's championship-level trash talk right there. And here's what makes it even more savage. Brooks backed it up. Every single time he was getting to his spots, bullying Laker defenders in the post, knocking down mid-range jumpers like it was nothing. This wasn't some fluke performance. This was a statement from a player who's evolved his game and found the perfect opportunity to showcase it against the one team and one player he loves tormenting the most. But hold on, because the drama gets even spicier. There was a sequence in the third quarter that perfectly encapsulated just how disconnected the Lakers were. JJ Redick, the first-year head coach trying to establish his authority, is clearly yelling for LeBron's attention during a live play. You can hear him on the audio screaming, "Bron, Bron," trying to get his superstars' focus. And where's LeBron? He's chatting with the Suns bench during the play. Redick had to call a timeout, and you could see him shaking his head afterward. The body language said everything. This is a coach trying to implement a system, trying to get his team locked in, and his best player is having a casual conversation with the opposition while the game is happening. That's not leadership. That's not focus. That's a player who might be checking out mentally in a way we've never seen before. And it gets worse when you dive into LeBron's actual performance. 3 for 10 shooting. As many turnovers as assists. He barely reached double digits, only hitting a 3 with under 7 minutes left to extend his double-digit scoring streak to 1,297 games. But even that felt hollow because by that point the game was already over. The Lakers were getting destroyed, and LeBron was out there chasing a personal milestone in garbage time. Brian Windhurst, who's covered LeBron for nearly 25 years, didn't hold back in his assessment.
Yeah, he didn't have any lift. He didn't have any burst, and he didn't have any lift. We haven't really seen this from LeBron.
That analysis included footage of LeBron going baseline with absolutely no lift on his shot, getting easily blocked by Mark Williams. Windhurst called it not a typical LeBron James play, which might be the understatement of the century. This is a man who's made a career of athletic plays, chase down blocks, explosive dunks, and being a safety net on defense. To see him this diminished, this slow, this human, it's jarring. Now, let's be fair for a second. The Lakers were playing their third game in 4 nights. The whole team looked gassed. Luka Doncic had 38 points, but also turned the ball over 9 times. The entire roster seemed disconnected. But this isn't about one bad game for the team. This is about what this game revealed about LeBron specifically. Because here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Father Time is undefeated. We've watched LeBron defy aging for years, playing at an elite level deep into his 30s, making us believe he might actually be immortal on a basketball court. But this game felt different. This felt like the moment when the illusion cracked, when the superhero cape finally slipped off his shoulders. The stats are damning. 0 rebounds for a player who's been one of the best rebounding forwards in NBA history. 0 steals for someone who's made a living reading passing lanes and being a defensive disruptor. 0 blocks for the king of chase down rejections. These aren't just empty boxes on a stat sheet. They're evidence of a player who couldn't impact the game in the ways he's always impacted games. And while the Lakers faithful want to write this off as an outlier, as just one bad night after a 7-game winning streak, the warning signs are there. The sciatica issues, the load management, the nights where he looks completely mortal. It's adding up in a way that should concern everyone in that organization. Meanwhile, the Suns are thriving. They're 13-7 now, and they did this without their best player for most of the game. When Devin Booker went down with a groin injury in the first quarter, most people probably thought the Lakers would capitalize. Instead, Colin Gillespie stepped up with a career-high 38 points, draining 8 Triple Js. Every single one of those shots was created through team basketball, screens, ball movement, and execution. It was a masterclass in how a cohesive unit can overwhelm individual talent. The fast break differential tells the whole story of this game. The Suns scored 28 points in transition. The Lakers? 2. That's not a typo. The Lakers, a team that's supposed to have LeBron running the show, creating advantages, getting out in the open court, managed just 2 fast break points the entire night. That's unacceptable at any level of basketball, let alone for a team with championship aspirations. JJ Redick tried to explain what went wrong after the game, and his choice of words was interesting.
It's a weird sort of thing. It really is. It's like the Monstars taking over the people that you've grown to coach, and they're not doing anything that they normally do.
The Monstars reference from Space Jam is fitting, actually, because it really did look like the Lakers had their talent stolen. They were going through the motions, making careless passes, taking bad shots, and playing 0 defense. The effort just wasn't there, and that falls on everyone, from the coaching staff to the veterans to the role players. Luka tried to take ownership after the game, admitting his 9 turnovers were unacceptable, saying he should have just shot the ball instead of trying to force passes. That's commendable accountability from a young star, but it doesn't change the fact that when Luka struggles with decision-making and when LeBron looks completely washed, this team has no chance against quality opponents. The supporting cast tried to do their part. Austin Reeves has been fantastic this season. Anthony Davis had moments. But when your 2 primary creators are either turning the ball over or looking like they need a wheelchair, you're in trouble. And the defensive effort was non-existent. 1 steal. 1! The entire game. The Suns had 16 steals and feasted on every Lakers mistake. This is where the Kendrick Perkins angle comes in, because you know he's going to have thoughts on this. Perkins has been one of the most vocal analysts when it comes to holding LeBron accountable. And this game gives him mountains of ammunition. The optics of LeBron chatting with the Suns bench while Redick is trying to coach. That's going to fuel days of debate about leadership, about respect, about whether LeBron is coachable at this stage of his career. Perkins will rightfully point out that if this was any other player, they'd be crucified for that kind of behavior. But because it's LeBron, because of his legacy and his status, people make excuses. They blame the schedule, they blame fatigue, they blame anything except the man himself. But the reality is this: LeBron James is 40 years old. He's in his 23rd NBA season. The body is breaking down in real time, and we're watching it happen. The question isn't whether Father Time will catch up to him. The question is whether it already has. The Dillon Brooks taunting adds another layer to this narrative. This wasn't just a win for Phoenix. It was a statement. It was Brooks looking at the Lakers, looking at LeBron and saying, "I own you." And for one night at least, he was absolutely right. He dominated. He talked his talk. He walked his walk. And the Lakers had no answer. The Lakers can't afford to dismiss this loss as just one bad night. Not with the way LeBron looked. Not with the turnovers. Not with the defensive effort. Not with a coach who seems frustrated with his star player. These are the kinds of games that reveal character, that expose weaknesses, that show you who you really are when adversity hits. And right now, the Lakers look old, slow, and fragile. They look like a team that might have peaked during that 7-game winning streak and is now facing the harsh reality of what they actually are. A flawed roster built around an aging superstar who can't do it all anymore. The championship window isn't just closing, it might already be shut. And if LeBron continues having games like this, where he admits he's old and his body language screams exhaustion, then the Lakers are in serious trouble. Because you can't build around a player who's admitting his own mortality on national television. This wasn't just a loss. This was a reckoning. And the scariest part? It might only be the beginning.